So this segment, I'd like to talk to people that are buyers and explain how the process works of picking a realtor. I don't think most buyers realize that there's thousands of realtors out there and they can pick any one of them. The fact is that the sellers pay the commission for the buyer's realtor. So the buyer can pick some new agent that doesn't have a lot of experience, or they can pick somebody that's been around for a while and has a lot of experience helping buyers, and they don't have to pay for either one of them. So this segment, I'd like to explain some of the benefits of picking an agent that has a lot of experience. When a buyer chooses me, the real estate coach, they get someone with 40 years of experience in the real estate industry. I've helped over 2,500 families buy their own home, and I've experienced just about everything that can come up that could go wrong with the buying process. So we start with doing what we call a good discovery. We don't go out and look at houses till we know what it is you want. And a lot of young buyers especially don't even know what they want. So we have a series of questions that we call the funnel, and we narrow it down before we go out. We ask about 15 questions, and we get the answers to those questions before we go look at houses. This is a very well thought out, very experienced part of my presentation where I've used this over the years and it's helped a lot. The next piece is it's very important that we know where you stand on the money. So when a buyer starts to talk about the money, they need to be talking to a mortgage person. So how does a buyer find a mortgage person? Well, you can go online, you can ask a friend for a recommendation, or in my case, I have found a mortgage broker who has done over 2,000 mortgages for me over the last 24 years. And he is absolutely the most honest, respected, experienced mortgage broker that I've ever met, and he will tell you the truth. Sometimes the buyers don't want to hear the truth, but they need to hear the truth before we start the process. So what we normally do is we get with the mortgage broker and we say, how much house can I buy? Then he'll ask the buyer 5 to 10 questions, and he'll determine from checking your credit score and your income how much house you can buy. That's the final piece of the puzzle before we go out and look at houses. The next piece is the buyers don't really know which houses to look at, but an experienced realtor does. Based on the answers to your questions, I could show you an overpriced listing in a neighborhood that you picked that you like, but as an experienced realtor, I will not do that. I will say, I'm not showing you that one because it's $50,000 overpriced. This house in the neighborhood is a good deal for the buyer. That's very important. So when we go look at houses, I'm looking at things like how old is the roof, how old is the air conditioner, how old is the appliances, does it have original plumbing, does it have original panel fuse boxes. I'm looking at it as a realtor while you, the buyer, are looking at the house and the yard and the neighborhood and the community, and that's very important too. The next piece is we need to get, once we find a house, we need to negotiate the best deal for the buyer. A lot of young realtors don't have the experience to do a good job negotiating. I feel like I'm very good at that because I know what the neighborhoods are worth, I know what the houses are worth, and we do a little 10-question report card on each house. Again, how old is the roof, how old is the plumbing, how old is the air conditioner, when was the last time the house was painted, does the house have septic or sewer, does it have a swimming pool or not, if it does, how old is the pool pump and the filter and the Marsite and the liner in the pool, And these are things that can cost young buyers a lot of money in the next 5 years after the closing. And I feel it's my job as the buyer's agent to point these things out before the buyer buys a home. The next piece is once we've made an offer and we've negotiated in your behalf and they've accepted, the next piece is the inspections. So once again, who's picking the inspectors? A lot of buyers don't know who to go to, or they ask their friend at work, who did you use? I have found 2 inspectors that have been around for 25 years that I feel very confident with, that if you ask my advice, I would recommend these guys. Again, we have a building inspection and we also have a WDO termite inspection. And I believe they should be separate guys, not the same company doing both jobs. The next piece of the puzzle, once we get through the inspections, is the insurance. Again, the buyers don't know who to call for insurance quotes. I've been shopping insurance for my buyers for 37 years, and I've found a couple of insurance brokers, not insurance agents, insurance brokers, that can take your information and your house and they'll get you the best rates and the best deal with any number of different insurance companies that are out there. So as we're progressing through the process, it's like a dance. The buyer, the buyer's agent, the seller, the seller's agent, the mortgage broker, the appraiser, the inspector, the insurance guy, any repairs that might be needed before the closing, the title company, and finally the closing. So I feel like, in summarizing this segment today, the buyer can choose anybody they want. You can choose a good-looking young female who's a part-time realtor and a part-time model. You can choose a middle-aged person that's been trying to be a realtor for 15 years and sells 1 house a month maybe. Or ultimately you can choose somebody that's been doing it for a long time that will represent your best interests. And again, you don't have to pay it, the seller pays the commissions. So I hope this helps you in deciding how to pick a buyer's agent. Have a great day.